Hello, this is Scott Petrino of telecoms.com, towering over my interviewee here at Open Digital Futures 2018, and I'm talking to Chema Alonso, who's the Chief Data Officer at Telefónica. Chema, you've just done a fascinating keynote, and I've managed to grab you immediately afterwards, so thanks a lot for sparing us this time. A lot of your keynote was talking about artificial intelligence. You talked specifically about how you use it in your day job. So why don't we start with a little recap of what you just told everyone in the auditorium about?
Well, I was trying to share all the view that we have about big data, machine learning, and artificial intelligence, which are the key areas in Telefónica right now. And one of the most important things is that we are using artificial intelligence in one area that for us is very relevant, which is the user experience. We believe that human beings have been learning technology interface for a long time, and it's time to change that, and it's time for technology to learn the human being interfaces, and we are putting all that cognitive services into our artificial intelligence to let our customers to have a more easy interaction and easier interaction with our technologies in the day by day. So that's the idea that we have around area, and we want to put Aura in the center of our services that are provided at home. We have TV, we have Wi-Fi router, we have IoT, and we have the wireline communication. And having Aura in the middle of everything can allow us to generate new experiences at home, enjoying technology. So that's the view that we have about artificial intelligence.
So my understanding of Aura, from what I've seen from you, I missed your announcement at Mobile World Congress 2017 when you first announced it, but I was just sitting there on my laptop looking it up and seeing that. I've even embedded your video at the bottom of my story. Yeah. It seemed like what you're trying to do is improve on the existing paradigm of things like Alexa or Hello Google or all these other sort of smart speakers. Is that a correct assumption, or is it more than that?
Well, Aura is a digital assistant that is helping our customers to do all the things that they are doing using other interfaces like contact center, going to the shop, our website in which you point and click, etc., through a new artificial intelligent assistant, which is Aura. But it's doing things into Telefónica. Our first idea is talk to technology and get things done into Telefónica. That's the motto. Then one of the channels that we are creating that is going to be launched this October is Movistar Home, which is a smart display device in which Aura is embedded. So you can talk to Aura through this smart display, and you can control your TV, your Wi-Fi, or whatever, but it's doing the kind of things that you can do into Telefónica, not competing with Alexa or Siri or whatever that help people to do things in other environments. For instance, Siri allows you to do anything that you can do in your Apple environment. So that's completely different.
So this is quite a sort of positive utopian view of AI, and I'll remind myself before we finish talking to perhaps explore the more negative potential sides of AI. But before we do that, you've spoken a lot about UI, user interface. And specifically in this context, it seems to be mainly talking about a voice user interface. So, sometimes I find the concept of user interface doesn't get explored enough. Everyone accepts that in the 80s we had the keyboard and mouse user interface, and then when we got into the smartphone era, we had the touchscreen user interface. And now the touchscreen user interface, we know in certain environments, like the living room, like the car, it's just not practical to use your hands the whole time. You want to use something more intuitive and less intrusive in your sort of lifestyle. So voice is an obvious one there. But things like voice recognition have been around for decades. Can you just tell us a little bit about what stage that you think the voice UI is at now, and how it could improve over the next few years?
Well, we have voice recognition long time ago, but the truth is that most of that system were based on expert system. Probably you remember when we need to teach the system.
Speaking.
Correct. So at the beginning they were based on expert system, but today with the deep learning technology, with the neural network and the increase of computing power that we have, all the natural language systems are very easy to manipulate. So the experience that we have today, thanks to artificial intelligence, is much better than the experience that we have time ago when we needed to
So
train the system.
that's the voice recognition part of it, and what we're moving on to now is more the sort of contextual awareness, the more natural interaction. The story I wrote about your keynote, I took a quote of yours saying how basically machines need to be more human.
Correct.
Which will lead on to my dystopian stuff in a bit as well. But is this where the really interesting thing is happening? Is natural language processing, the contextual awareness, that sort of thing?
Well, we are working on different areas, and you're right. Voice is only one piece of the interface that we need to put, and gesture, as you mentioned before, is very important. And we are putting voice recognition as a key area, but we are in the roadmap have a lot of different interfaces. Point and click is one of these. Gesture we have in Telefónica a program which is 5S, which is only for people that cannot talk, cannot listen. Okay. So just using gesture.
And gesture UI strikes me as very important for wearables as well, because you can't really, a screen on a smartphone is not adequate, is it?
Yeah. We are not working on wearables right now. We are not working on wearables, but we believe that in the future, probably you want to turn off the light or switch off the lights, and someone is sleeping, you don't want to talk.
Right, fair enough.
Probably a gesture is better than that, and we are
when you come home from the bar later.
Correct. Correct. That's the right moment. So we are looking about how people can use technology at home and what is the best way to interact with technology in every single moment. And we believe that sometimes voice is a good option, other times gesture, other times probably remote because the option is not easy or I don't know how to manage, and other times probably you need to type, if you need to type a password or you need to type something to a third party because you want to launch an app that requires you to identify, probably using voice or using gesture is not the right way. Probably the best is using a touch screen and type your username and password.
I think typing with gestures would get a bit strange, but I can see there would be uses.
Correct.
But yeah, for normal typing, like for me as a journalist, I wouldn't want to write a whole story like this. People would think I'm going crazy.
Yeah. Well.
Okay, so just to conclude, the dystopian stuff I kept threatening to bring up. So yes, AI, I mean, as I wrote, the genie's out of the bottle. AI's there, it's there to stay, and there are many positives, some of which you've detailed. But, people like Elon Musk have been warning about the concentration of too much power in too few hands. There's recently been a story I read about in China where they're using facial recognition to adopt the system as social credits, which strikes me as quite dystopian. Do you have any sort of concerns about how AI could develop in a sort of uncontrolled way where there could also be downsides?
Well, as a company, we have that concern, and we signed an agreement which is the Cybertech Security Accord, in which 46 different companies, including Telefónica, Microsoft, other companies, have been agreed about not to use technology against user, never ever. So that's the most important. As a personal individual, as a person, I think that we need to generate technology for the goodness of the people, and it's very important not to use all that capability to do things against people. So we believe that we as societies will be able to know exactly what should be done and what is not good for users, and we will be able to use technology only in the right things. And artificial intelligence is something that we need to take care of it, because there are a lot of powerful things that you can create. Yeah. Some of them could be wrong. I used to deliver a talk in which I tried to explain that if you use an artificial intelligence just to detect who is underperforming in your company, probably you can fire a woman that is pregnant, and she doesn't know yet.
It's like algorithms; they can be
Correct.
Blunt instruments.
Correct, and we need to put some limits, some boundaries to that technology as a society.
I agree.
That's the big.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your time. Great to meet you. Encantado.
Encantado.